Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Ruth Farms. My name is Luke. It's Tuesday, March 11th. We're here in Denton, North Carolina, and we just took delivery of a new piece of equipment for the farm. If y'all remember back from a video or two ago, I told you we had a couple surprises coming up. Well, standing right here in front of me is the first one. That's right, y'all. We bought us a planter. This is a Kinze 3500. This is a 6-row with the inner plant, so it's a 611 planter. And it being a 3500, it picks up and turns, so it's a narrow transport planter. These are rare. From what I read online, these were specifically and specially made for Pennsylvania, because from what I understand, they have certain laws that restrict your equipment being so wide going down the road. So they built these so that instead of a 16-foot transport width, this one is right at 11 foot from the tire here to the tire on the other side. And then I think we're about 12 foot to the liquid tank on top. So not only is this a 611 Kinze, just like I've been wanting, but we also have in-furrow fertilizer capabilities. So I'm pretty excited about that. And it also has a precision 2020 monitor for it to tell us our seeding rate. On the corn rows, it tells you singulation and everything along those lines. Only thing this planter doesn't have that I would look for it to have is row cleaners. We're going to get those in time. Probably not this year just because they're high, and I've already spent a pile of money on this planter. But I've done a lot of looking for a long time, and I just haven't been able to find one I liked. And I think this planter will do us really good. It's in pretty good shape. The owners previous to me had it for about 10 years, and they put in the precision planting bushings and the parallel arms on all the units on this planter. The back set of units have spike closing wheels. I believe these are copperhead closing wheels. And then the front ones just have regular cast ones. So in the future, we'll probably change these out with some type of a closing wheel, a spiked variety. But I'm pretty daggum excited, y'all. I've looked for a planter for a couple years now. Was trying to get away just as cheap as I could naturally, but I finally just, kind of like, you know what, I'm gonna have to buy one. I'm tired of using my neighbors. We're picking up acreage. We got some new ground, and I just don't feel like it's, right for me to borrow a neighbor's when I'm making enough money that I can buy and afford my own planter. So we bought this planter, and hopefully this thing's gonna hold up for us and be a good one for many years to come. And hopefully we can spread the cost out over a bunch of acres and a bunch of years. We are gonna have to do a little work to it here and there. It's gonna need a few bearings. Eventually I want to go to a cast spoke gauge wheel on it, and like I said, row cleaners. But for the most part, we're only gonna have to change out a few bearings and things, and this planter should be field ready, because we're gonna be ready to go to the field here very, very soon. So very excited. We're gonna have to get the monitor and all mounted up. He's got some extra parts for it, the corn meters, all the colders off of it. All the colders are off of it right now because they had some trouble getting it in the ground last year when it got so dry. So they took them off, and still debating whether we'll run them or not. I don't know. It does have the one colder here on it, but anyway, y'all let me know what you think about our planter. I'm tickled to death to have one. I'm not gonna have to worry about using somebody else's stuff and breaking it, or having to work on somebody else's stuff. At least this year when I work on this, it'll be for myself, and when I get done with it at the end of the year, I'll know what it needs, and hopefully we can fix it before we go into next planting season. But this is, like I said earlier, this is a 611, so you have 6 rows of corn, and then the 5 units up front, they actually pick up and will go up for planting corn. Whenever you're planting beans, you obviously leave them down. And we'll be planting on 30-inch spacings for corn and 15-inch spacing for beans. So I'm very excited though, and I think the narrow transport aspect of this planter will be great for our operation because we don't have a lot of wide sheds. Like I said earlier, a standard planter is 16 foot wide, and this one's 11. Height is going to be our only restriction. To the top of that tank is pretty tall, but it's not much taller than the row markers sticking up on a standard planter. Well, this planter, the row markers actually, they fold, so they're shorter. The liquid tank and the cylinder to lift this planter up and down is the tallest aspects. And I know our combine shed it'll fit in because the combine's over 13 foot tall, so that's probably where it's going to end up staying most of its life. But yeah, the previous owners that we purchased it from, they're actually buying a 12-row Kinze. I think it's a 3660 from one of my neighbors. This is actually the guy that we came and watched baling straw last summer. He's buying him a brand new planter from Kinze. So they came to look at his planter, and they were telling him that he had this planter, and he was like, you know what, I got a guy that might be interested. I know he's looking for one, and I'd never even seen a 611 and a 3500 setup configuration. We looked at a couple 8 rows, but I was kind of worried with the 8 rows that my auto steer may not be accurate enough to be able to combine it with a 6-row head. And when this came up, I was like, you know what, that's perfect. It's pretty much in the ballpark with price range with a regular Kinze 3000 around here. So yeah, super excited. We're going to go over this machine. I'll bring y'all through all that, us rebuilding what we're going to rebuild this year. And but yeah, let's get this old girl home here in a few minutes and get to work. Here's the planter my neighbor's selling. Kinze 3660 12-row with the inner plants. It's also got in-furrow, but it's a bulk fill. So instead of having a hopper on each unit, all your seed go in the bulk hoppers and are distributed via air to each unit. Thankfully, these guys hauled their tractor down here on a lowboy because we're about an hour and a half from where they're located. And luckily, he was able to put my planter on that trailer with the tractor. So my trailer hadn't had to ride, an hour and a half. We didn't have to go get it. Very thankful to them for doing that for us. That saved us, probably 4 hours time we drive down there and then drive back with a pickup going 30 miles an hour. But this old planter here makes mine look tiny. It's only twice as big, but it's a big old planter. The last time 2 planters will ever be seen together. It's got several inches. Good gosh, what a planter. That thing makes my little 6-row look like a midget. We're gonna look plumb good planting this year, y'all. I'm excited. Let's go to the house. Got about 1.5 miles, 2 miles, maybe 3 miles. Not far at all. Got to come back for all my parts. All the coaters and stuff's laying over here, and I don't have room in my truck. Still takes up a pretty good portion of the highway. A lot less though than if it was folded out. Y'all don't mind my junk on my dash. This is my work van. Made it home. Our our short little journey. I'm gonna back her up to the shop and get her ready to plant. All right, guys, our first little project here, we're going to get started on fixing our planter. We got a little cylinder that's leaking. The cylinder right here underneath Coleman, this turns the main post there, which takes this planter from transport mode and puts it into field mode. We got a slow leak on it, and the guy I purchased it from, he had a rebuild kit, so we're going to go ahead and pop it apart here and rebuild it. Tried to take the pin out on both sides so we could get this off into the shop, but this pin right here is stuck in there good, so we're going to try to do it with it on the machine. Should be no problem, but it is going to be a little bit of a pain. So
just take everything off. It's a lot easier.
So we got most of our hoses here unhooked so that the cylinder will come apart. Coleman's working on taking this end gland off with this pipe wrench. You're crooked right now.
It's tight.
There you go.
I don't know why. Tighter than it was before, I believe. Clean them threads up. God, they all don't screw off like that. I couldn't do it.
Coleman's tired.
I just spent 3 minutes screwing that thing off.
Where's your scraper at?
Thank God, everything looks fine. I was afraid the thing might be messed up. Oh my God.
Some soybeans from last year in here.
Got a freaking wear band there, don't it? Wear band O-ring. Watch myself, don't take me out.
Thankfully we don't have the coders on there right now.
Oh my God. Yeah, I just lubricated the ground. Good gracious alive. There wasn't a bit of oil that come out of them.
Is that supposed to be split?
Yeah, it's a wear band.
So all the cylinder is on this one's just an O-ring? That's literally an O-ring. That ain't even
Wow, that's shocking.
I figured that was the actual piston part.
Nope, it's a wear band. Wow, we just made a freaking mess. We just put oil back into the ground, guys.
Yeah, we're recycling.
Dinosaur bones going back for round number 2.
Let's rebuild this sucker.
Yeah.
Try to take the head off under here.
Did I have some pills? Ceiling star unless you got one.
I have not. I have not purchased one yet. Y'all excuse the severely disgusting shop with crap thrown everywhere. We haven't done anything in here this winter, and yet it looks like a bomb went off, because it did. A T-300 bomb.
I'd been done if we couldn't have kept on fire.
What goes here?
Looks like another wear band spot. Oh, this is like a special seal or something here. I don't think I've ever seen one like this. Like an O-ring.
This one.
Yep.
So weird looking seal there, y'all. It's like an O-ring looking, but it has flat ribs here on the side that these spacer rings go down on.
A flat
or go over. The spacer rings actually fit like on the side of the ring.
If you guys at this point are paying people to rebuild the hydraulic cylinders, you're losing money.
Matt Griggs.
Yeah, he's got a reason to. He's got a bunch of cylinders. If you're able to and you don't have a big farm, this is a very good way you make or save money.
And this has probably costed
$200.
Which I don't know how we could have got the pin out. The pin don't want to come out. But even if the pin came out, you're looking at minimum $150, $200 to rebuild this cylinder. Or at our local hydraulic shop.
And
we think they're pretty reasonable.
That is cheap. I've seen a lot of people talk about how hydraulic shops rip people off.
What size that is, big boy. A lot bigger than that one.
I'd say 1.5 inches.
Where's all my wrenches at?
Oh, you sockets? Sockets are in the truck.
Well, that's just gonna get a wrench. Taking the nut off so we can pull that main cylinder off and put our internal seals on. This is an 1.5 inch socket on a 3/4 inch ratchet and a very wobbly welding table.
And the vise that's about to break through the bolts.
And the bolt's a little loose.
I'd say if you're following along with this repair, but there ain't many people that's gonna be following along with this repair because there ain't many of them planters around.
I guess all the big planters.
Yeah, but I don't know if they're the same though.
Maybe similar.
There's that.
Pretty much same process for any hydraulic cylinder. That's built like this anyway. Right, there's a small O-ring there.
Why they put O-ring there?
It don't make skid steer too. Let's just keep oil from being able to bypass that cylinder, I reckon.
Alright guys, there's your gland. There's the wiper seal. It's the seal towards the end of the rod, and then you got your main oil seal. That's the one that's actually leaking the fluid by.
But we got a kit, we're gonna do it all.
Yep, might as well.
That thing's got a bunch of junk in it.
Got a better pick than the one with a 27-degree angle on it. God, this seal's tough.
Let me try to get with my pliers. My pliers right there where you left them. God dang. That's like an exam blaster.
That seal right there is softer than the other one. How does that make sense? That's the stiffest seal out of all of them.
We show them our new parts washer. We never got to show them because the only time we've used it on camera is working on this thing, and we haven't shown y'all this on camera yet because I haven't got it nowhere near done yet because I accidentally burned the cab up out there.
It has been on camera.
Well, not actually. That's working on it. This is our new parts washer. Well, 6 months old now. It's a hot water parts washer.
Hot parts washer, not a hot water parts washer.
Well,
we don't have
whatever's in it's hot. It's got sprayers. You can shut the hood and it'll spray water down on it, or whatever you're using. We're using, I guess I've thrown the jugs away. We're using a type of solvent. It's like acetone.
Mineral spirits.
Yeah, mineral spirits.
It don't work as good cold, but
yep. It's got a heating element down there in the bottom, like a water heater. Heat it up. And it's got a little pump that pumps for this, and then it's actually got a bigger pump that pumps for the sprayer nozzles.
And I'll tell you, if you don't have one, you need one.
Very handy. When Coleman sent it to me wanting us to go in together and buy it, I thought he was a little crazy, but it's a cleaning little son of a gun.
It's washed probably 20 hours. It works a good 10 on my tractor, probably.
It's got a timer on it where you can actually set it like the heat time and then how long it's going to spray time, which I don't think the timer works.
The timer for the washer itself does, not the heat.
I don't think it does because I came out here one day and it was on the next day after you got done.
It was?
Yeah.
Good gosh. Tried it ran that long now. So it's worked before because I've had it cut off.
The seal curled up like a horseshoe. You just stick her right in there. Coleman's got a little tool that takes all the work out of it, but if the seals aren't too terribly hard, you can do it by hand.
If you're doing it, buy it online. It's like $8 or something. It's worth every penny you spend on them, I promise. It's just tough now, ain't it? Gotta work it a little bit. It's worth the couple dollars. I'll have to fool with it.
You just reassemble her just like you took her apart. Put the correct seals where they go and keep everything as clean as possible. And as you put them back on there, put a little oil on them.
genuine Kinze seals, but they're completely different color than the factory one.
It says on the pack, don't worry about the color. Repair kit seals may differ in appearance or color from original seals. This will not affect performance. They were prepared for you.
Guaranteed it's some cheap seal that you can find on any hydraulic shop. I can guarantee it.
Fix this loose jack problem.
There you guys go. She is good and tight. That's the torque spec for this one. Whew.
For anybody who don't know, that's German torque spec. Guten Tag.
What's that? I can promise you that.
Guten Tag.
There you guys go. We shouldn't ever have to repair this cylinder again, hopefully. Hopefully it's a long time if we do.
Maybe by then we'll be farming so much we got a 12 row. A lot of times when we rebuild a cylinder like this, if we bought the seals, or like this one came from Kinze, a lot of times we'll take these old seals with us to our hydraulic repair shop and have them make us up a kit. If I had to guess, this kit through Kinze was probably at least $100. We can get that through our hydraulic supply shop for probably $30. Sometimes though, it's easier to go through, the dealership to get them, and then you get the right parts. But our hydraulic repair shops are pretty good around here. The Coleman's gonna clean this thing up good. We'll slide her back together. We've got supervision out here today. We got my grandpa out here. Making sure we do it right.
He's the mastermind.
I probably need to get some oil for that. Pull back out and I'll oil up that wear seal.
Where's I need a hammer.
Push it.
Let's get this thing down here lined up.
Pin in.
Slider gland on there. Don't cross thread this thing. If you cross thread it, you're gonna be visiting a hydraulic repair shop. That is no fun.
Let me grab a big pair of channel locks before you get too mean with it. Is it going in?
It looks like it.
No. I think you're pushing too much pressure. I think it's going now.
Got a little bit dirty.
Alright, so one thing we want to check on these planters, on each of our units, right now it's set up for beans. So this is what they call a brush meter. I'll show you why they call it a brush meter. This is what we're going to plant our soybeans with. So if I pop these two little wing nuts off here and pull this blade out, you'll see there's already some beans stuck to it. They have these brushes in here that help hold the beans to this plate. I want to just make sure these are in good shape. They're probably getting a little bit wore, but the way this works is this plate rides like this. The plate down here, all of our beans from our hopper come out this hole and are pushing against this. So that will push a bean into this little plate right here. All right, well, as this plate advances up this meter, as it's spinning, because it's being driven on the back side of this shaft right here with chain, these beans follow this brush, and this brush holds them into this plate all the way till they get right here, and then they fall out the bottom side of this, and then this goes down the seed tube into the furrow. Main thing I'm checking is to make sure these brushes are in pretty good shape. I think we'll be able to get by this year pretty easily on this one. And I did blow some of them out. For the most part though, they're not in too bad a shape. All right, so I'm holding this thing up here manually. I want to show you guys how this works. So as y'all can see around the sides up here, you can see the little cavities where the beans will go. Right now they're hollow. So I'm going to take and spin this shaft, and you'll watch the beans follow this wheel up through here. You can see how these once dark empty holes are now filled with the treated soybeans. And as they come around over here, you're going to see them drop out over here. See them coming around there and dropping out. That's how these brush meters work. This is for soybeans. They make different size plates. I know they make a 48 and a 60 cell plate, which means there's be 48 of these holes or 60 of these holes. They also make wheat plates. I think they make like sorghum plates. But then for our corn, we have a completely different setup. So going from corn, we go from our brush meter here. We have 2 set screws on this side, 1 on that side. Those will come out, and this whole brush meter will come off. And then we will replace it with our corn meters. These are what they are known as a finger style pickup. These are actually precision planting. As y'all can see, they're precision planting corn meters. These are adjustable for different sizes of corn seed. But basically what they do, hopefully y'all will be able to see this, down here in the bottom of this cup will be full of corn from our hopper. And if y'all can see down in there, there's little fingers that go all the way around this circle piece. Down there in the very bottom, those fingers are actually open. Whereas as this circle advances, the fingers close. And then as they get over here, they begin to open again. So what happens is as you spin this piece, wrong way, those fingers close on a kernel of corn, and then that kernel of corn comes all the way up here until it falls out this hole right here. And then this hole, there is a belt, and this belt, as you spin this corn meter, it brings those kernels of corn down individually as perfect singulation as you can expect. And that's how we get singulation and a better planting with corn. So this thing has fingers that pick up the corn kernel versus our soybean meter, which just has little cells in there that the soybeans actually fall down in. The reason this doesn't work so well with corn is because corn kernels are different. Almost every different variety and stuff you get are going to be different sizes, different shapes a little bit, or beans, pretty much all identical, just a little bit different size. I'm not the best at explaining stuff, but hopefully that gives you a better idea of how that works. Because after seeing this visual myself, that helps me have a better understanding. So all I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna take and dump what beans is in these things. I'm gonna dump them in a box. We may throw them in somewhere and plant them. Times are tough this year. We're gonna save every penny we can, but we're gonna blow these bean meters out just so we know all the old beans are out of them. There's 25 cents worth of beans. We're just gonna blow these meters out and check everything over. Soybean patch out here in front of this shop. I do every year. Well guys, we have pulled the 4250 and our new to us Kinze 3500 out here away from the shop, and we took a scraper and a leaf blower, and we've kind of scraped and blew as much of the dirt and junk and debris off of this thing as possible. We're gonna get ready to wash this thing, and I just prefer not all this trash and stuff be right outside my shop door. I'm wanting to eventually run some power out here where I've got my nitrogen tank here, or like during the summer months we can move my pressure washer out here and wash things, but I need to run power out here, and we just haven't taken the time to do that. But we about got her blew off here, so we're gonna pull her back here to the shop and get her ready for a washing. As you guys have seen, we've pulled all the boxes off our planter here, blew out all the meters and everything, checked them all. Everything there looks good to me. I may order a couple extra belts and things for the corn meters, that way if we have one break. So I know on our planter here, we're gonna need some bearings for our copperhead closing wheels. As you can see, that one there's junk. There's out 3 or 4 of them that are bad, but we may go ahead and replace all the bearings, or at least get enough to replace all of them. I know in the future we're gonna have to pull and replace some of these gauge wheel arms, bushings, and this shaft. So as you can see, we got some play there. All that may not happen this year just because, you know, we've already bought a planter. I don't want to spend just a ton of money. If we do it this year, it'll be on the corn rows. Jack. That's pretty slick right there. My GoPro wanted to die on me there. What I was saying was some of the pins that go on the gauge wheels. What I was saying was some of these pins that the gauge wheels ride on are getting wore, and the bushings in them are getting wore. So we're gonna have to do some replacing on them at some point, and some closing wheel bearings. I'm probably gonna order a whole new set of opening discs for the rear gang, and then put the better ones from up back there up here, because we got a few up here that the bearings are going out. They still got some life on them, but the bearings are going out, and what everybody's told me, it's easier just to go in and replace the whole thing and then you're ready to go. So probably put a new set of discs on the back, and then if everything goes good next year, order a new set for the front, and then swap them out, and then we'll have a whole new set of discs. But for right now, we got our blue off pretty good. We got all the boxes off. We're gonna degrease this thing and try to wash it. May or may not happen tonight, because as y'all can tell, it's getting dark. But either way, appreciate you guys watching. Hope y'all have a good one. God bless, and we'll see you here in a couple videos rebuilding this planter.